Hi, kindergarten. So you've drawn your self-portrait with the two-line approach, you've colored in your self-portrait, and now you're ready to cut it out and glue it onto your background. So I'm gonna show you a technique for cutting and gluing that I think might be helpful to some of you, okay? All right, so this was a self-portrait I started to make for the demonstration video. And it's not done, but I'm gonna use it as an example for cutting out. So when you cut out your self-portrait, this is what I always recommend kids to do. Do something called a bubble cut around your self-portrait first, okay? Before you start cutting out other smaller detailed areas. So this is called a bubble cut, okay? Now, if this is all you can do for cutting your self-portrait out, that's totally fine. You can glue it onto your background just like this. But if you want to, you can go back in and cut a little bit more of the paper away. You do not have to. And notice that I'm still leaving a little bit of white paper around my self-portrait when I do this. Now, one thing I've noticed is some people like to cut up to the edge of their self-portrait, and sometimes what will happen is they'll accidentally chop off an arm or a leg or a foot. And that's why I usually don't cut up to the edge of my self-portrait. I just cut away a good amount and just leave a little bit of white around the self-portrait, and then I'm ready to glue it on, okay? Now, it depends on how much you wanna cut away. You can even go in and cut away spaces of white, like this right here. I'm gonna show you what it looks like after I do that, okay? Cut off the tip of my thumb. Not a big deal, it's only a little tip of it, okay? So now I'm ready to glue this onto my background, okay? And I'm going to show you a technique using glue, and you can use stick glue for this too if you want. But for liquid glue, you're gonna use something called dot, dot, not a lot. And you go dot, dot, not a lot, dot, dot, not a lot, dot, dot, not a lot. And you try to get all the areas of your self-portrait, but you're not doing big puddles of glue, okay? Dot, dot, not a lot, dot, dot, not a lot, dot, dot, not a lot, okay? And then you're gonna very carefully pick up your self-portrait and you're going to lay it onto your background. So let's just pretend that this is my background, okay? But really, you're using your cool or warm colored background. You're gonna very gently flip it and push it down. And then it's gonna take a couple hours to probably completely dry because liquid glue takes longer than stick glue. All right, happy art making.